Hello, friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to come and give you a little bit of a backstory on the last few chapters that we read. Those are the chapters of being made homeless. And we kind of move on in the story, obviously, to me just going off out on my own. And I wanted to give you a little bit more information on how that occurred. I mentioned before that the day that I was made homeless, I went for a walk with my little dog. And then when we came back, there was a real estate agent and a locksmith changing the locks. And I got back just in time to see them leaving. And then I spoke to a neighbor across the street who the real estate agent gave them his number on a card. And my interaction with the real estate agent, once I called him, he was very unprofessional and rude. He ended up hanging up on me, and so I ended up just leaving. It wasn't until 3 years later that it occurred to me that I was sitting in a parking lot on like a Christmas Eve, homeless for 3 years. And it occurred to me that I could have just called my own locksmith, shown him my identification, and been let right back into the house. But I did not do that. I didn't even think about that. My thought was to leave because there was a whole other craziness brewing that I felt like I did not deserve to be a part of. And by that time, I had tried to go back to Las Vegas or come back to Las Vegas once, and I found out that someone very close to me had been murdered. And I found out in a very horrific way on YouTube. Nobody in my family even told me. And so once I realized that kind of sin and death was what I missed out on by having such a dramatic reaction to just get out. I call the chapter Exodus because it was almost a biblical feeling. Like I felt like something bigger and worse was coming or would be a part of the storyline had I tried to hold on to the house, had I tried to hold on to my past. And so I just went. I took everything that I had that was mine and I went, and I was very, very happy that I did. Even 3 years later, 3 years homeless in a car later, sitting in a car on a Christmas Eve by myself with just my little dog and the car, 3 years later, I was still grateful that I was where I was instead of where I could have been. And, sometimes they say rejection is your protection, and you just have to go with your heart. And I have done that always, and it has always been the best move for me. And so that is just a little bit more backstory without giving too much away, because I do want for people who are paying attention to just the videos to be able to follow along. And I want to also have you keep in mind that you're not getting the whole story either. You're getting like a couple of paragraphs from an entire book that is 842 pages long. So I just want you to keep that in mind. And then even then, you're getting my version of the story, which I pray and hope and put everything in my power into making it the most neutral and honest version. Even though it's coming from a human being and even though it's my perspective, I hope and pray and try for my perspective to be the most honest, fair, and neutral perspective that I could possibly offer to other people. I would not want to offer anything less to people, and I would not have wasted my time with 842 pages of anything less than my very best. Okay, so that is it for now, and I love you, and I'll be back soon.